to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.
I feel like I gained like 20 pounds over Christmas break.
Yeah, it looks like it.
What's up, Jacket Nation? Welcome back to Jacket Talk. I'm Levi, and here with me, as always, is my main co-host, Scout. How's it going, Scout?
It's going great, Levi. I mean, the snow and ice tried to slow us down, but here we are, ready to talk all things Jacket Nation.
We got a lot to cover this week, so let's dive right in. First up, let's talk basketball.
The boys basketball team had some weather delays, but we're back at it Tuesday night, taking on a state-ranked Republic team in the Bosma Hall. And wow, what a game.
It was a very exciting game. The guys gave everything they had, but just came up short in a huge team effort. Big shout out to senior leaders and Avi, my guy, Bristol Burton, who had a standout performance. Way to represent, Jackets.
The girls basketball team, meanwhile, is on a roll. They picked up a big win over Neosho and moved to 2-0 in the Central Ozark Conference. That's how you handle business.
Both teams are back in action tomorrow for a doubleheader at Willard. And don't forget, you can catch all of the action live on Jacket Nation Sports. So tune in and support your Jackets.
Now let's switch gears to wrestling. It's been a big week for Lebanon Wrestling. They hosted senior night against Republic and Bolivar and had an exciting night of competition. Then on Tuesday, they took on some tough opponents in Jefferson City.
That's not all. Caleb Branch was named Yellow Jacket of the Week after his standout performance. Congrats, Caleb, and keep up the great work.
Over in the pool, the Lady Jacket swimming team competed at the Ozarks Invite and had strong showing. With state swimming right around the corner, the team is gearing up for some big performances.
No doubt about it. These ladies are putting in the work, and we're excited to see what they accomplish.
All right, Jacket Nation, it's time to hand things over to Kevin and Ramsey. They're live at Buzzcuts Barbershop with Coach Decker and members of the girls basketball team, Morgan Durbin, Madison Myers, and Faith Kaufman. Kevin, Ramsey, take it away, guys.
Welcome to Buzzcuts in downtown Lebanon for Jacket Talk on LEB TV, brought to you in part by Mid-Missouri Bank, by Ginger Wellness, by Mercy, and by Jacket Nation Sports. I'm Kevin Stubblefield. Great to have you along. We will be talking Lady Yellow Jacket basketball when we return in just a moment here on Jacket Talk.
My name is Jaisha Connor, owner and nurse practitioner here at Ginger Wellness. I believe that sometimes healthcare does too much, and I believe that's where wellness centers can really bridge that gap and really give people some confidence in natural ways, healthier ways, to really improve quality of life and to get healthy.
We want to feel better and live better lives. It's not about quantity, it's a lot about quality of your life.
Ginger Wellness is where I went to get my quality of life back.
Coach Brian Decker with us on our show today as the Lady Yellow Jackets come off a nice win over Neosho, 69-40. Earlier in the week, they've got a game with Willard this week on the road, a super night at Willard. So your ball club's just a notch below 500, so kind of climbing the ladder and trying to make progress, aren't you?
Yeah, you know, we've had a really good start to our season, and we hit a little bit of a lull there that I wish that we could have a few of those games back. Our record would be a little bit different right now, and I think our girls know that. But you know, the great thing about this group is they've fought through adversity a little bit and through those low points, and I've gotten it back to close to 500 with a chance Thursday to get back to 500, and yeah, we're climbing the ladder.
Got a little boost there early with the back-to-back wins to start the season over Webb City and Nevada.
It's a great start to the season. You know, something that I spoke to it in our first interview is that you take a trip like that, you don't expect to play that well. We always expect to win, but to come out after a long trip, first game of the year, you're not really knowing what you're going to expect, and for the girls to perform as well as they did, and to be clicking on all accounts, and then to turn around and play, the very next day at home and get another quality win too. It was a great start for our girls.
Well, and you've had those two difficult tournaments at Fairgrove and then the Pink and White. Those are always big challenges, but hopefully a competition like that is making you better, and it seems like it has.
Yeah, the Fairgrove tournament, while it's considered a rather small school tournament, we're one of the biggest schools in it. It's got its challenges, and those programs are really, really good, and Final Four type teams are in that tournament. So it is definitely a grueling tournament for us to play in, but it's something that we need to face, because whether it be, our conference play that we're getting ready to get into or postseason play, we need to be facing teams that are that quality, and the Pink and White is just the same. There's a couple of those games, like I mentioned, that we wish we could get back, that could, potentially be wins for us. But, our girls are growing from those losses, and we're led by some really good seniors that know that to right the ship and are going to get us right back on track.
Brian, girls basketball, I don't think it really matters what the classification of school is. If it's good basketball, you got a good team, you can play with anybody. That's a little bit different from boys basketball, I think.
Yeah, it's very different. We're gonna get into a tournament here next week that's got a Class 1 school in it, and so they're not scared to play against Class 6s and stuff like that. So yeah, it really doesn't matter the level. The good basketball is gonna prevail, and they're gonna be up for challenges as well. So 1 through 6 in this state, it doesn't really matter at all.
You had to navigate through some cancellation activity at school. How did you try to navigate through that and try to keep sharp on the basketball floor?
That was a little frustrating. We had that early exit in the pink and white, and a little bit earlier than we wanted to. And I think our girls were pretty hungry. When I told them that Saturday we're going to come back Monday and practice, I think half the room was a little shocked, but half the room was ready to go too. So we showed up Monday and Tuesday of that next week, and we've probably had 4 or 5 of our best practices right out of the gate, out of that early exit from the pink and white. And so I was pleasantly surprised with that. And as I spoke, Monday night, we stripped it way back defensively and worked on some entry level defensive aspects that we really needed to hone in on. And honestly, looking at our game the other night, early on, it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but that second half, they really shined defensively, especially, and which led to a lot of offensive plays for us. So coming out of that pink and white, we really had a good quality week of practice, and the girls are very focused and determined and had high energy. And it's just something that you don't always expect when you've lost 2 games in a row right there, that they'll be able to flip that switch and be productive in practice. It's not always the case.
Doesn't matter whether it's baseball, basketball, or football. Sometimes it never hurts to go back to the fundamental stage.
Yeah, and we've got a group that's open to doing that. Some people could look at that and get kind of upset and why are we doing something more fun? But our girls know that we're doing things for a reason. When we do a drill in practice, it's not just because we're doing drills, it's because we really have a meaning for it, and they buy into that really well. And like I said, our seniors, it starts with our seniors, and they do a good job of making sure that the direction of practice is good for those younger kids too, and that the energy is good. And so, those fundamentals are going to be important no matter if it's the first of the year, middle of the year, end of the year. We're going to still be hitting on them and emphasizing them.
Always ask coaches, since we're in 2024-25, about the adaptation into the Central Ozark Conference. I'm sure there was a little bit for you, but still, you play a lot of those schools normally anyway, don't you?
Yeah, you either play them or you're seeing them, and so it's not you're not caught off guard really. But we went into the season expecting it to be a tough road for us, and as I've told many people, we're not going to shy away from adversity or tough competition. So win or lose doesn't really matter. Who we're playing. We're gonna show up and play hard and do our best, and hopefully apply the things that we're doing in practice to those games.
Central Ozark Conference member, that gives you kind of a preliminary look at what you're going to see during district tournament time come February.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same group of teams. So we got a good idea what we're getting into, and truthfully, the last few years we've had that same group of teams, minus 1 or 2 teams. So get to go to Ozark for districts this year and face some pretty good teams, and hopefully come out and produce during the postseason as well.
Couple of years, the girls program went to St. Louis, but now you're back in this area. What's the difference, if any, with the caliber of competition there?
I think the familiarity with the local schools, people kind of know what to expect. You go up to St. Louis, and some of those teams, some of the people in our area have never heard of those schools. So I think sometimes when you hear of a crazy sounding school, they're thinking, oh, they're great, or they're from St. Louis, they're great. It's not always the case. I think basketball in our area is a whole lot different than the basketball up there. I think it's definitely way more challenging here than it is there. So while I see, advantages either way, I like the fact that we don't have to travel as far playing here, but the caliber of teams that are up that way, we could probably compete a little bit better up there, but it's going to be a challenge no matter where you go or what you do. So you're either fighting travel or you're fighting some pretty high ranked teams in our area, so or in the state actually. So it's a challenge either way.
Take us back to the start of the season, right around Thanksgiving to now. What are some of the things that your ball club overall is doing better now compared to then?
I'm speaking to defensive side of things. We've really shored that up. Rebounding's been a big thing. Getting them to play in transition's a huge thing too. This goes back to when Jackie was here. He liked to play fast. I mean, I'm from the same mindset. So no one really wants to watch real slow basketball and drag it out. And some of the things we've spoke to in the past are turnovers. That's kind of part of it. You kind of have to accept a few of those, and that's the uncostly ones you don't want to deal with. But transition offense and defense is really fun for me. I really like that aspect. I think the girls see that I like to emphasize that in practice a lot too. So they've started to buy into that, playing quick and getting the ball down the floor and attacking. And at times it's really great, and at times it can be ugly, and we'll throw the ball out of bounds and to nobody. So, it comes with its challenges as well. But the girls' energy in practice has been really good, and that defense and rebounding and the transition stuff's been super big for us.
You reduced your average turnover amount 5 on Monday night in the Neosho game from 22 down to 17. So that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, looking back at last year, it was crazy at times. That's just, I'm sure, from you watching the games, I'm sure. But, this year it's been a little bit different. Early on, we had a couple of games that were a little bit rough, but for the most part lately, it's not been bad. A lot of our issues have come from either breakdowns defensively or not getting shots to fall, as opposed to just turning it over. So we've really shored up that. We've really focused on a lot of fundamental stuff, jump stops and pivots and stuff like that, and rips and sweeps, and just keeping the ball protected a lot more. And so we still have to shore up a little bit when it comes to passing and catching. It seems like such a simple thing, but meeting passes and blocking, tucking catches and stuff. So super important that we continue to work on those fundamentals as we go through the season.
As your second year as the head coach, has it been easier this year getting ready compared to last year?
Yeah, definitely. I said this before, but I'm thankful that Jackie let me kind of run the show kind of behind the scenes a little bit. That really helped me prepare for last year. But this year's been a whole different ballgame. It's a little bit less stress and anxiety when it comes to doing certain aspects of this job, and definitely feel more comfortable and a little bit more prepared when it comes to day in, day out responsibilities and stuff, and preparing for games. And that confidence, I think, carries over to the kids a little bit more too. So there's just a little more comfort and calmness with our program right now.
And you've got holdovers on your coaching staff as well, so that kind of eases everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, for the most part, we've had pretty good continuity with our coaching staff, and we lost Coach Bailey, but I say lost. She stepped away, but she's still a big part of our program. She helps us with our social media a little bit and organizing things behind the scenes, and she's a big part of our overall team. And Coach Stam took over her spot, and she's familiar with the program as a phenomenal player when she was here at Lebanon, and coached for a little bit early in her career too. So she stepped in and been a big help for us, as well as Coach Long and Coach Kincaid. They quality people that know the game and love on our kids, and represent us very well, and have bought into my philosophies and made them their own. So it's been a big help this year, having that continuity and familiarness of the kids and the program and what we're wanting to do for us to be successful.
Talk about your veteran players on your varsity that are really showing the way this year for you.
Yeah, well, obviously our three team captains, Morgan Durbin, Madison Myers, and Faith Kaufman, kind of lead the way. But I couldn't stop there. Kendall Bybee obviously had a great night the other night against Neosho. Madeline Hilton's working her way back in from a illness that she had that had her out for about a month, and so those 5 seniors have been huge for us this year. Day in and day out in practice, they are always stepping up and leading, and we usually have them lead the beginning parts of our practice, and so they've been great mainstays for our team. And Kinsey Perryman's a junior, and our primary point guard, she's kind of had to be thrusted into that position. She's not much of a talker, but which is very unique for your point guard, but she's starting to break through that a little bit and getting that maturity level. And so she's a big part of what we do. And then Bradbury being a sophomore, she didn't really play like a sophomore sometimes. But she's maturing really well too. And the speed of the game has slowed down for her really well. So she's starting to get a little more comfortable with the flow of the game and how it needs to be played. So those 6 or 7 are kind of the main cog of our varsity group, and do a really good job of leading. And I feel like I've got really good relationships with all of them. And this group of seniors is a pretty special group to me because I'm privileged to be able to work at the middle school where I see them pretty early on and get to build an early relationship with them, and then carry it over. My time as the JV coach, I got to build those relationships with them too there, and to have them now, and it's kind of sad to think that it's their senior year already. So it's a very special group, and I'm honored to get to coach them.
Then you've got Massey and Guccione that lend you a helping hand on Monday night against Neosho, and they're talented players that are starting to make their mark and really enhancing your depth.
Yeah, Ray is has always been a kind of a special athlete player in my mind. She's a great kid and goofy at times, but brings a lot of energy and athleticism. And sometimes with girls especially, they don't always know their gifts. You just got to make sure that you're complimenting those gifts and highlighting them and emphasizing them so that they hopefully will start to blossom a little bit more. And so I think in the last probably 3 or 4 weeks, Ray is really kind of the light bulb has come on, so to speak. And she's getting a little bit more comfortable. I think it was a little bit of a shock there when Hilton went down with her illness that she had to be thrusted into some minutes. And I don't think early on she was really expecting that or ready for that. And but we as a coaching staff have had confidence in her since last year, and we knew she's very capable of doing a lot of good things, and so it's really nice to see that paying off in the last few weeks. And then Matila is, like I said, Matila's working her way back from that injury and knocking the rust off, and it's been a challenge at times for her, and kind of some of our philosophies and the way we want to do some things have been a challenge to get her. She's a little bit slow with what she's doing, but you got to understand from our perspective that, she's the last time she was really playing was her 8th grade year. So that's a big jump when you're talking about, time and development and stuff. So she's really started to get a little bit more comfortable and kind of understanding her roles and shining and she can handle the ball really well and also shoot the 3 really well too. So those are big things that we need with this varsity group. And, while the minutes might not be as consistently what she wants, she's providing in those minutes. And that's a big thing for us, especially as you saw Monday night.
Yeah. As we're in this certain day and time, it's sometimes difficult to keep a group of players together all the way through their senior year. It's obvious if you can do that, and once they get to that stage, they may not be starting players, but they can certainly be contributors if they can stay with the program all the way through.
Absolutely. Kendall Bybee's a prime example of that. Her minutes have not always been the best. She played JV as a junior and started and did well, and that kid has worked her butt off to get to where she's at now. And while she started a couple games when Morgan was out with the concussion, but she stepped up and was ready. And I mentioned it to her at the beginning of the year. I always meet with all of our kids. I'm like, hey, you're next girl up. You got to be ready. Your moment's going to come. And sure enough, Mo had that concussion early on, and she stepped right in, and it's been an important piece for us. And had probably a career night the other night against Neosho, and she was very excited. And Madeline as well. She's always kind of been on a roller coaster as far as the confidence level that she's had, and we've always kind of tried to love on her a lot too. And while she had that illness, this last month, she's provided a big spark for us too. Sometimes off the bench, and it's not always scoring points, but playing defense, boxing out, rebounding, block shots. She's pretty important when it comes to that stuff. So these seniors sticking together and making it through has been a big, reason why we're where we're at right now.
Made 11 threes on Monday night in the 29-point win over Neosho. You combine that with good defense and transition. That's a winning formula for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how we want to play. And it's cool that it wasn't just all one player when it comes to the threes. We look at Mo a lot and Faith a lot for threes, and when it's spread out like it was a little bit, it's cool that both posts hit a three, and then our guards kind of spread out the rest of them, and especially when you get a young one like Matila in there to hit a couple threes too, that's big too. So that's exactly how you want to draw it up: the transition game, the threes, and great defense.
What's the Osage tournament looking like?
So we drew the 3 seed in the Osage tournament. We get to play the host school. It's not always the best draw, but Jackie always said he didn't want to play the home team on their home floor. But it's kind of a unique tournament. Like I said, there's anywhere from Class 1 to Class 6 in that tournament. So it's kind of a unique field. It's pretty difficult to seed, honestly. And we'll play Monday night, like I said, against Osage at 8:30 down at Osage High School. And then second round games will be Thursday, and then the finals will be Saturday.
Nice tournament. Short drive for the parents and the fans to go watch basketball, and really a nice gymnasium.
It's a really nice place. There's a lot of money down there, and they show it in their gyms. Their middle school's phenomenal as well. We've played a summer league down there, and the high school gym's really nice. And it's a really good tournament with good spaces for the fans. And like you said, that short drive makes it even better. So I kind of like those, 30, 45-minute drives. Make it kind of nice, especially when you're dealing with the Webb City Drive, the Joplin Drive, and the Carthage Drive this year too. So,
yep. Willard is next on the agenda Thursday night on the road, Super Night, boys and girls. So that's kind of an added attraction, and people may need to kind of look past the Willard win-loss record because they're obviously a better ball club than that reflects.
Yeah, definitely. You look at their record at 3-9. While it doesn't look great, you got to understand they've played Rockbridge, Kickapoo, Fairgrove, Rogersville, Marshfield. Then there's a few more in there I'm not thinking of, but they've played a gauntlet of a schedule so far, and on film they're pretty solid. Honestly, they run a little 2-3 zone, and it's not your standard. It's more of a matchup, and they're pretty solid out of it. Rebound well, run the floor well, and they share the ball really well too. A little 5-out motion, and so it's going to be a challenge to guard and make sure we're not giving up easy stuff in transition. And then on the flip side, we got to be able to execute against that zone a little bit. And, the added Super Night is going to be new for our kids too. It's kind of a unique setup. It's always weird when you throw a curveball, especially to girls, with times and setups and stuff. And even my coaches, Coach Long, before I left for the show today, she was like, I'm kind of worried about having to play, the games one before and one after. And so just a different setup and a different vibe. But I think it's going to be good for our girls to kind of get to see that environment. And hopefully it's, not too much for us to handle, and a big crowd and a cool environment for them.
What's been the gist of your schedule this year? Do you have enough numbers to play 3 games on many nights? And do other schools have the numbers to allow that to occur?
So we started the year with enough for 3 full games. The big kicker to start the year was a lot of the other schools don't have it. It's just kind of sad, really, that it's kind of dying out the way it is. And, teams are not able to fill those 3-game nights as much anymore as they used to. And we really tried to get those young kids some developmental time, and wins and losses aside, it's more about just getting gameplay time for a lot of those kids. So it's a little bit frustrating. We've lost a few kids. I think it's tough from a kid's perspective to try to practice every single day and then not get rewarded with a game. And while most of that's not our fault, it's hard for them to understand and be committed anymore to doing that. And I hate that for them, but we're at the point now where we can play about a half a freshman game and a full JV, and then obviously the full varsity. So we're still chipping away and not giving up on the freshman or the C game totally, but I wish more teams had some C teams for those kids. So
Good win on Monday night against Neosho. We'll see you at Willard on Thursday night, Brian. Thank you.
Thanks, Kev.
That's Coach Brian Decker of the Lebanon Lady Yellow Jackets, and we will have some special guests coming up with Ramsey on Jacket Talk.
How much has your bank paid you? We've paid our Kasasa account holders more than $7 million since 2017. Open an account in minutes to get in on the earnings today.
So there's this TikTok trend, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm supposed to make the face, and you guys are going to make the sound?
That's how it goes.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Jacket Talk. I'm Ramsey, LEB TV, Jacket Nation Sports, and we're sitting down today with 3 key members and seniors of Lady Yellow Jacket basketball: Morgan, Madison, and Faith. We're going to let you kind of get to know them a little bit here. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We'll have the full-length interview, and we'll get into some fun stuff and talk basketball and school and life and all the fun things. So, girls, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
We're going to rapid fire. We're going to get some questions out here real quick.
Okay.
Faith, you're first.
Okay.
Sing your favorite song.
I don't have a favorite song.
I know it.
Wait a minute. So you don't, the singing part doesn't bother you. It's that you don't have a favorite song?
I mean, they both kind of bother me, but I just don't really have a favorite song. It just depends on the day, like what I'm feeling that day. That's valid.
Okay, well, what are you feeling today?
I don't know. Anything.
One of you 3 has to sing.
Yeah,
okay.
I can sing. Yeah,
okay.
Morgan.
Yeah.
Morgan's got.
I fly just like a bird, but you are a bird, okay? Give me some oxygen, because once we stop it, baby, ain't no way we stopping it. Wings by Rio.
It's
Okay,
on
first-
the Rio movie.
Oh, Rio. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the birds.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. Okay. Odd choice, but all right.
It's her pregame song.
It's your,
I literally listen to it every time I play
okay.
or before I play.
Madison, you've got to talk now.
All right, what do you want to know?
Favorite school cafeteria lunch.
Ooh,
They still have
Homemade
this-
pizza.
homemade
valid.
pizza.
Yep.
Tell us about that, because it's not. Is it not the rectangle pizza anymore? It's like what's homemade pizza at school? Like they have special pizza now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very rarely they do, but it's not like that Play-Doh pizza
Yeah.
that
Okay.
they just serve every day.
Right.
It's like one
It's
time a
intense.
year, but I
Okay.
like it.
They still have like the salad bar and stuff.
Yeah.
You still get
Yeah.
salad bar. Okay, cool.
They have pizza every day, but it's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah.
it's not the homemade stuff.
The homemade. Why is the homemade better?
It has toppings and like,
Thicker cheese.
yeah.
Okay.
Thicker crust.
Sounds
Like,
like
it's just
there's a
better.
reason you only get it like one time a year.
Yeah.
A little more work probably
Shout-
put into it.
Yeah.
Shout out to the lunch ladies and maybe lunch men if there are now. I don't know, but all right. So we've talked song. Only one person would sing. One person doesn't know any songs or have a favorite song. Morgan, what are you gonna do after college or after high school?
Oh yeah, good question. So
I wasn't supposed to ask that.
planning to go to 4-year university. I've thought about Missouri State or Mizzou. I'm gonna get a biological science degree,
Okay,
biochemistry probably, and then become a PA.
so you're a nerd.
I like school, but I don't know if I'm a nerd.
Biological sciences.
Yeah.
You said looks cool.
Yeah.
Madison,
I don't know yet.
You
I'm
don't know?
still figuring it out.
anything that interests you? Or
Right now, I'm thinking elementary education.
Okay,
But
cool.
that's not for sure.
All right, Faith.
I'm gonna use my A+ and go to OTC and transfer into MSU and finish my education degree.
All right, so teachers, and then what is a
A PA. It's like
what's-
right under a doctor.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, physician assistant.
Okay, fair. So you could have just said that. I know you said it, but
Oh,
like the
okay.
biomedical sciences, like I feel like you're gonna be in like some laboratory.
I might, but
I like helping people better. I don't want to be in labs all day.
All right, cool. So let's get a couple more in here before we end this segment and get into the fun stuff. Beyonce or Taylor?
Ooh, probably Taylor.
Why?
I don't know. I just like Taylor better. I don't really listen to Beyonce. I like Taylor Swift.
Okay.
My mom likes it, so I like it.
Favorite Taylor song?
Blank Space.
Blank Space. Okay. Madison.
I would say old Taylor.
Old Taylor,
Yeah, I
like
don't listen
Tim
to her new
McGraw
stuff.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Right. Okay. Fair. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but no Beyonce.
She's okay.
Is her new
But-
album really country or not?
No.
No, not. Did you watch her on the halftime of the Christmas Day game? Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched a little, but not much. No.
All right, Faith.
Probably Taylor as well. I
Yeah.
like Beyonce too, but probably old Taylor for sure.
Old Taylor. Okay, favorite Taylor song.
I don't know.
I don't even
Love
know why.
Story.
I don't even know why I asked.
Love
You don't
Story's a
Story's
good
good.
one. Love Story's a good one.
sing it.
I don't even Love Story. I don't
It's
know.
a love story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I singing? How did that
What's your
happen?
favorite
tell us.
song?
Yeah.
Favorite song, like it depends. Back where I come from, Kenny Chesney, old school Kenny Chesney, before he got all islandy weird. You guys even know who he is?
Yeah.
You don't know who Kenny Chesney is?
No.
She thinks my
Morgan.
tractor's sexy.
Oh yeah, thanks.
The
My
Tin
track
Man,
is sexy.
The Boys of Fall. Like, that's Kenny
Okay.
Chesney. Okay.
All right.
Also, I can't stop listening. Luke Combs. Luke
Where's
Combs.
Zach Bryan? I
okay.
thought he's
Do not listen to Luke Bryan. No, Luke Combs, and only because Luke Combs gets really emotional and he talks about like raising kids and that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
that kind
respectful.
of hits hard right now. So yeah, now that we've all had a confessional and we're all basically embarrassed, or at least I am, because you made me sing. I don't know how that works. You guys were supposed to sing, and only one person sang, and then I sang.
I can sing again.
Let's hear it. Give us a second song.
New money, student ties. I can read you like a magazine.
Okay.
Ain't it funny? Boomers lie. Okay, yeah.
I think that's her worst song.
Next. That's a good one. All right. Well, thanks for taking a second and kind of helping the viewers get to know you guys on Jacket Talk. I know Coach Decker was on earlier, talked a lot about you guys, and I'm excited for tomorrow's episode. So we're going to get into some different things about high school life and basketball, and I've got some interesting things I want to talk about. So, girls, thanks. And for you guys watching, we will see you tomorrow for Jacket Talk Overtime.
Thanks, Kevin and Ramsey. Always great to hear from our athletes and coaches. That's all for this week, Jacket Talk. But don't worry, we'll be back here next week with more highlights and interviews.
And remember, you can catch all the sports action live on Jacket Nation Sports and your weekly dose of Jacket Talk right here on LEB TV on Thursday and Friday.
Stay loud, stay proud, and as always,
Go Jackets.
Welcome to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.